Welcome to a 2020 episode of A Sandwich and Some Love, and we are kicking off a new year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans. This is my husband and co-host.
Hello, I'm Alan. Hey, Train in the house.
Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year.
Again. We can still say that. How long are we allowed to say Happy New Year? Mid-January? End of January?
I'll say it all year.
All year?
I'll just keep saying it.
Do you know
Happy New Year.
You know, I love the Next Door Neighbor app. Is that what it's called? Next Door Neighbor? Alan won't get on there with me, but I have a lot of fun with it.
You just get on there to snoop.
I just like to see what people
That's
are complaining about.
You're snooping.
Or to see all the big bobcats people are catching with their Ring cameras that are, running across the backyard with rabbits in their mouths, things like that. About the cars being broken into.
I only want to know if there's a peeping Tom.
We haven't had any of that. We have somebody complaining that somebody left dog poop in front of their house
And
on
what
the
is
sidewalk.
the story with the peeping Tom? Can we peel back that onion a little bit?
What?
What is a peeping Tom?
He looks through windows and watches people. See, people accuse me of being a peeping Tom, but I'm not. I just like to look in people's windows to see how they decorate. I don't want to see naked people.
Yeah, but what is... Oh, so that's what a peeping Tom does?
Yeah, they want to catch people being naked and doing stuff. I just want to see how they decorate.
So what does the peeping Tom do with this information?
Well, a lot of times they take pictures and record it and come back later.
My.
Or sometimes they just look. I don't know. But like when I go walking at night, I love it, especially if people have their windows open and their blinds drawn so I can see their painting and decorating choices. Does that make me a peeping Tom? I don't think so.
Why does it have to be a peeping Tom? Why couldn't it be a peeping John? Or why couldn't it be a peeping Alice? Why does it always have to be a peeping Tom?
Perhaps the first person arrested for it was named Tom. Why don't you Google that if
okay.
it really bothers you that much? But back to what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, babe.
On the Nextdoor app, somebody posted a suggestion. Is this a Snopes thing? Is this for real? But I believe they said it was a police officer who said, when you're writing the date, you know how we do like 01 hashtag 06 hashtag.
Hashtag.
Well, whatever
slash.
you not hashtag, slash.
Hashtag.
So 01 slash 06 slash and then 20. He says, don't do 20. Go ahead and write 2020 because what people can do who are trying to commit fraudulent activities, they can write like 17 on the end of that 20, and suddenly you'd be like, that wasn't signed in this was written in 2017, and it's whatever. What do you think of that? I don't know what fraudulent activities you could use by changing the date to something that happened a long time ago.
That would make a check
void a lot of
invalid,
checks.
Right?
It would void a lot of checks that have you only have 90 days to cash them or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they
were just suggesting
there you go. Good
that's
tip.
the kind of stuff you can get on the Nextdoor app.
Oh.
So 01, not hashtag, slash 06 slash 2020. Just write it out all the way.
That's value add from a sandwich.
There you go. That's just a little extra.
Good job, babe.
But we have some, it's still the new year. And because of that, Alan and I shared did we share our bucket list and resolutions last time?
We kind of half ate it. I mean,
did.
This isn't the strongest list we've ever had.
It's not. It's weak sauce.
I think this is going to be, what do they call it?
phone-in year.
A living, no, I'm not going to phone in.
Oh, I meant
a living document.
Grow as we go here.
Grow as you go?
Grow as we go. We're going to grow as we go.
Okay.
We'll continue adding to the list because there are quite a few things I've thought of since we put that pressure on ourselves.
Such
as I'm
as?
Drinking a martini. Well, like finding a church home.
Oh.
I
thought we did that, but we haven't.
We haven't been
going.
Okay, how about go to the church we chose? That could be one of them.
Well, that's a resolution, but
that
shouldn't even be a resolution. That should be
we
something
should just
we
go.
do.
But we
Yeah.
haven't been doing it, so I'm resolving.
Okay.
My daughter even guilted me. She goes, "Why didn't we go to church this past Sunday morning?"
Well, tell them why.
I'll tell you why.
Tell them why.
Church service started at 11. Do you know when Alan and I...
And when was Holmes and Home Slice still in bed?
I didn't set the alarm thinking, there's no way I'm going to sleep too late to get ready for an 11 a.m. church service when the church is approximately 7 minutes from our house. We did not get out of bed until 10:35 a.m.
I mean, what are we in college?
What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what wasn't happening.
None of that. We weren't drinking the night before. We didn't go out and party. We were home with the kids. I don't know what happened.
We were laying there like freaking What's the guy's name in Willy Wonka? Charlie? His grandparents.
We were out, like sleeping hard. At 10:35, I rolled over, and I had to convince myself to get out of bed because my bladder was so full. I thought I was going to burst. And I didn't want to get up then. I don't know what was wrong with
Laying
us.
there like a couple of Egyptian mummies.
And then Sunday night, that was Sunday morning.
In our sarcophagus.
So Sunday night, my goal is to go to bed early because I got to get back up and be on the radio, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, whatever bushy-tailed means. I really don't know. I don't have a bushy tail. But I wanted to be up early, ready to go. I could not go to sleep last night to save my life. I'd had those little moments where you doze off and then wake back up and look at the clock. Awful. But we're going to try it again tonight. Try to get back on my regular sleep pattern and hopefully go to church this coming Sunday. My daughter even guilted me. Mom, why didn't we go to church Sunday? And Kelly, I overslept. Not a great excuse, but that's why. But my daughter even wanted to go.
Well, we do need to get back into the schedule because Christmas break is officially over.
Thank the Lord.
Kids go back to school tomorrow. We get back into a
routine.
I got buku business work stuff to do that I have been putting off for 2 weeks.
I'll tell you, I like vacation. I
need to get back in a schedule.
But man, there is so much comfort in routine. I like routine. Being off regular work for 2 weeks, I don't know. That was a lot. I enjoyed my time off. Don't get me wrong. I didn't get nearly the things accomplished I wanted to get accomplished. There was all this sorting and organizing and stuff I was going to do. Still didn't get it done.
Little peek into retirement, babe. That's what's going to be like.
What are we going to do every day?
Me and you staring at each other, but there'll be no cheering around.
Oh, man. I'll never retire.
Wow.
I don't see how I can. I don't think it's good for me.
I don't know. You talk about it a lot.
I do, don't I? But then I have a little taste of 2 weeks vacation and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can handle it. But speaking of retirement, in the Dallas area, we had a legend in the radio business shock everybody by announcing his retirement today. I know a lot of people listening to us aren't going to be familiar with who I'm talking about, but I think the manner in which he retired is something we should discuss. If we think he did it the right way, just like the surprise, hey, this is happening, I'm out. Is that okay after having such a long relationship with your radio audience? I don't know. Part of me is like, that was really classy. And we'll get into that and also talk about the greatness of a radio legend in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And since it is still New Year's, my cousin on Facebook posted one of Dear Abby's columns. I don't read Dear Abby as a rule, and she no longer does the column. Her daughter took it over for her. But apparently every New Year's, she has these rules that have been slightly edited a little bit. I went back and did some research, and they've been modified a bit for 2020. But I want to go over those because I think they're so helpful. And I want that to be one of my resolutions to read this list on an almost daily basis.
To read Dear Abby.
To read this column almost on a daily basis. Because I think if we could refresh our memory every day and apply these principles, it's going to be a really great year. Okay. So I want to get to that too.
I'm all for that.
Anything you want to bring today? That's a lot. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot.
Let's see how much we get through. I've been listening to a really great true crime podcast. If we don't get to it this time, that's okay. I'll save it for last time.
Finally joining me on the true crime podcast bandwagon.
I just had to find one that I was interested in. And I did find one. And once I started listening, it was interesting, and I've already finished it.
You'll be hooked.
I've already finished it.
Now you're going to look for your next. That's what happens. And we love always hearing your suggestions because, we know we're not the only podcast out there, but, and I love to listen to true crime ones as well.
Not the only, but should be your favorite.
Should be. We should be your only first 5-star rated favorite podcast, right?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Ugh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Anyway, I want to tell you real quick before we get started that the FabFitFun winter box is on sale right now.
FabFitFun?
Yes. Now, in the winter box, I got the makeup eraser cleansing cloth. My Aunt Velma actually introduced me to this cleansing cloth a long time ago. It's this pink cloth. Maybe you've seen it on TV where it takes off all your makeup with no chemicals. It's just water. It's incredible. and then you just throw it in the washing machine and all your mascara and everything just comes out. It's brilliant. I got that in my FabFitFun box. I've been using it on the reg every day. And also the Dry Bar Prep Rally Prime and Prep Detangler. The Dry Bar, known for their blowouts. I got the detangler. I'm using that. Awesome. I also got this beautiful Paper Source floral planner, a 12-month floral planner. This thing was so lovely. Now, this is the thing about FabFitFun. I already had my planner for the upcoming year, 2020, but FabFitFun, they sent me a beautiful planner. I was able to gift that to my niece for Christmas. So that's the thing about FabFitFun. Sometimes there's, 99% of the time is stuff that I want to keep for myself. But sometimes it's like, hey, I want to gift this to someone else. FabFitFun is a great gift for yourself. It's full-size, premium beauty, lifestyle, fitness, home, wellness products sent straight to your doorstep every season. So you know that Christmas feeling you get when you get surprises and presents? This happens, that Christmas feeling, 4 times a year with FabFitFun. Like I said, it's great as a gift to give to someone else, maybe someone that's gone off to college, a gift to give yourself. Self-care should be all about that in 2020. Plus, with your membership, you get FabFitFun TV. On there, you get workouts updated seasonally, a lot of exclusive content, members-only sales. You're going to get deep, deep discounts on the products you're going to know and love with FabFitFun.
And FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box with full-size beauty, fitness, fashion, and lifestyle products. And it retails for $49.99, but always has a value, babe, over $200.
Well over in my case.
Use coupon code Kelly, okay, Kellie, for $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com. Use coupon code Kelly, Kellie, for $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com.
You know, you don't have to say the W's, babe.
I am by the book.
You don't have to say the W's.
worldwideweb.fabfitfun.com.
Don't have to say the W's. All right, let's start first because I might start crying with the retirement announcement. Let me start first with the Dear Abby, and you can chime in if you'd like. It's just
Oh, can I?
Yes.
Oh,
if you'd
okay,
like.
thanks.
Stop me
Thanks.
or let me read through it and then comment.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you feel.
Okay.
Okay, so this was her New Year's column. Apparently, this is an annual tradition, and she's been doing this for years and years. Like I said, I looked back at an old column. It was way more lengthy. That's why I'm reading the current edition of it, but it's still the same basic ideas, edited just a bit.
Lengthy.
So she says, this is her daughter, actually. Welcome to 2020. The new year has arrived, and with it, our chance for a new beginning. Today, we have an opportunity to discard destructive old habits for healthy new ones. And with that in mind, I will share Dear Abby's often requested list of New Year's resolutions, which were adapted by my late mother, Pauline Phillips, who was the original Dear Abby. And this was actually based from the credo of Al-Anon.
Excuse me?
Yeah, she took the, Alcoholic Anonymous. Al-Anon has a credo as well as, Alcoholic Anonymous. Why can't I say Alcoholic Anonymous? Alcoholic Anonymous? Is that right? Alcoholics Anonymous? What is it?
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah, they have their own list. This is apparently Al-Anon. Anyway, here we go. Just for today, I will live through this day only. I will not brood about yesterday or obsess about tomorrow. I will not set far-reaching goals or try to overcome all of my problems at once. I know that I can do something for 24 hours that would overwhelm me if I had to keep it up for a lifetime. Just for today, I will be happy. I will not dwell on thoughts that depress me. If my mind fills with clouds, I will chase them away and fill it with sunshine. Just for today, I will accept what is. I will face reality. I will correct those things that I can correct and accept those I cannot. Just for today, I will improve my mind. I will read something that requires effort, thought, and concentration. I will not be a mental loafer. Just for today, I will make a conscious effort to be agreeable. I will be kind and courteous to those who cross my path. I will not speak ill of others. I will improve my appearance, speak softly, and not interrupt when someone else is talking. Just for today, I will refrain from improving anyone but myself. Just for today, I will do something positive to improve my health. If I'm a smoker, I'll quit. And I will get off the couch and take a brisk walk, even if it's only around the block. Just for today, I will gather the courage to do what is right and take responsibility for my own actions. Now, if you read that every day as a refresher course and really adapt those, or adopt, is it adapt or adopt? Are you going to correct me?
Adopt.
Now, should you have done that if you'd read that thing and not corrected me?
You asked me.
I did ask you. But isn't that great? You don't dwell on the past. You don't obsess about the problems of the future. You just concentrate on today. You're kind to people you meet. You do something positive for yourself. If you have a bad habit, just for today, I'm going to kick it. Guess what? By the end of the day, you might fail. But you know what? You wake up the next morning, you say, just for today, I'm only going to concentrate on how I can be the best me today. I love that.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with that. That's kind of the live in the moment mantra.
What is it? Carpe diem, seize the day?
Well, that seize the day. But yeah, I mean, that's like not looking too far back to things you can't change.
And just for today.
Looking too far forward, you can't change the future either.
Well, I think that's what happens. Like for just getting up off the couch and walking around.
You can affect the future. You can't change the future.
So like people, New Year's resolutions, the gyms are packed. People are not just, starting the Couch to 5K program. They're out there running at 4:00 in the morning because they are so motivated right now. And I'm going to get in 3 miles before I go to work. And what happens is you try so hard to do so much that you end up just quitting. But if you can just for today, just get up and do something. Walk around the block. And I've been trying to do that with Larry. Just walk Larry, and I didn't get to do it today because I was running around with my daughter all day. But just make those little changes for today. I thought that was very powerful stuff.
It is powerful because remember last year when we both had this weight loss goal and program in front of us, and when we started, we knew that we had 2 or 3 months in front of us. And I think we didn't get overwhelmed because you remember how we just took it like we did. We took it day by day. We started with meal number 1. Not a lot of fun. Lunch number 1, not a lot of fun. Lunch or dinner number 1. First day, not very much fun. Second day, not very much fun.
We got through each day.
Third day, not great. But then it started to get easier. 4th, 5th, 6th. Oh, we've done it a week now. But we just took it every day, one day at a time. That's kind of what she's saying here.
Yeah, just concentrate on today.
With positive improvements to your health.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was
makes
good.
Sense. No, I think it's good.
I'm going to print that out, and I'm going to try to read that every day.
Oh, so you're gonna do this?
Well, yeah, I'm going to try to read it at least, and I'm going to fail a lot. We all fail, right? Every day. That's part of life. But that, and like the 4 agreements we say we're going to read every year. Going to read that. I'm just going to try. I'm going to try really hard because I have found, and I fall into this temptation, and I just get so mad at myself after the fact. I've come a long way, I think, but I used to be really bad about talking about other people. And I really, when I was a younger person, I was a teenager, one of the best, most fun things I used to think in the world was to go with my friend Angie. We'd go to the mall, and this is embarrassing. This is what we used to do. We would sit, and I was overweight, glasses, bad perm, mullet. I
Sounds hot.
Braces. I had no right.
Braces too.
Making fun of anybody, and yet that's what we would do. We would sit at the mall.
What do the threads look like?
Threads?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the 80s, so I was wearing jelly shoes and crop pants, and I had my bangs dyed blonde like Duran Duran and vests. It was awful.
How about the makeup?
Probably blue eyeshadow.
Sweet.
Anyway, we would sit there and we wouldn't go up to people's face and say, ha ha, you're so, look at you, da da da. But we would make fun of people behind their backs because it made us feel superior, right? You make fun of other people to build yourself up. And that's wrong because what it does is it made me feel so bad inside. And the worse I felt, the more it would just perpetuate itself, right? You make fun of other people because I felt so bad about myself, but then I felt worse about myself, so I'd make fun of them some more. And you get in this vicious cycle, but I was very young and immature.
Well, way to go. I was probably the a-hole walking by you were making fun of.
You probably were. I mean, look at your hair. I'm kidding.
What's wrong with my hair?
That was just a joke.
I had a lot more of it back then.
So even as an adult, when I fall into that, where I get with a group of girls, usually women, And for some reason, we just start talking about somebody and the way you see the way she did and the way she does that. You know what? I feel so bad about myself afterwards. I feel dirty. I feel spiritually dirty. And I want to stop doing that. And I fail sometimes. You can't help it. You get catty, you're tired, you're cranky, you're like, oh, I can't believe her. What did she just do? Look at blah, 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 blah. And then I just feel awful afterwards. So anyway, I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I did.
Well, that's negative talk. That's one of the 4 agreements, not speaking with a sinful tongue or whatever.
Yeah, and it does nothing to the other person. The people that walk by, the girl I sat there and ran my mouth about 10 minutes because she did something dirty. I thought she has no idea that I was doing that behind her back, but it makes me feel bad. So why would I keep doing something that makes me have all that darkness inside? So you got to let that go. Kelly Raspberry Evans needs to let that go. So I work on that. And when I fail, I feel horrible afterwards because I do still slip up.
You know, a great man once said, hate leads to anger. What is it? No, fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Yeah. I don't like suffering.
You know who said that?
Gandhi?
Yoda.
Oh, Yoda? I don't know.
That's true, though. It's true.
Do you think Baby Yoda is going to be Yoda?
No, Baby Yoda isn't Yoda. He's the kid. He's
what if
the
he's
child.
A clone?
He could be a clone.
That would be Yoda.
That theory. Well, good call. Good call. That theory has been floated out that he may be a clone. But remember, in The Mandalorian, spoiler alert, Kuiil looked at him.
That's not fair.
No, he looked at him and said, "I don't think he's a clone. He's too ugly." Remember that line? He goes, "I've seen clones before."
He was way cute, but he'd never seen Yoda. Old Yoda is not as cute as young.
He had worked
Yoda.
at the clone farms. He
Clone
knows.
farms?
Yeah, he knows what clones look like. Remember?
Alan told me, and I don't know how much of this is true, that people are canceling their Disney streaming service because they've binge watched Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and they're just done with it until Mandalorian comes back.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's going to work.
Sign up for 1 month, pay $7, watch all 8 episodes, and then cancel it.
I think there's going to be other quality programming on there.
Like.
Well, my daughter's watching High School Musical, High School Musical, something like that. And she really likes it and wants to watch that. There's a lot of Disney movies on there. You just have to look and find other stuff that's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do. Is there anything else you wanted to add to Dear Abby's resolution list? Anything you've thought about, like in addition to starting to go to church, me watching my negative talk? Anything else that rang a chord with you on that?
Well, one of my own personal things that I've always tried to do, and I don't always do it perfect, but I definitely don't always do it perfect, is just trying to live more in the moment versus looking too far ahead and looking too far back. You know, either beating yourself up about things that have happened in the past that you can't change, or worrying about the future that you also can't change. You know, just being happy in the moment with what you have, the situation you have going on, and living that way.
Somebody told me, and I don't know, I'm struggling with this one. We were talking. Who was I talking to? I can't remember. But they were worried about something, and they were very upset. And they said, because I know worrying is a sin, because we're supposed to trust that God has got us, and that God is going to take care of us and everything's going to be okay, and that worrying is a sin. Do you think worrying is a sin because we're not fully trusting that everything's just going to be okay?
I mean, I guess you
means
could argue it that way.
I guess, but I mean, like if my child goes out for the first time, she got her license and she's going to go driving, she's going to be going out to a party, and I'm not worried about it. I'm like,
yeah, because
I'm worried about I guess maybe it depends on what you're worrying about.
Now that I think about it, it's human nature to worry.
Yeah.
Because while, yes, as a Christian, you believe God's got this, he's got me, bad things happen to good people every day.
Right.
So as a human being, you're naturally going to worry about your children, about your health, there are things you just worry about because you're human.
And there's like very unfair things that happen, and we worry, but we pray and we worry that, but because I'm worrying, is God not going to answer my prayer the way I want? See, that's the thing, the way I want the prayer to be answered, because maybe God's answer is completely different. Maybe God has a lesson for me that I don't really particularly feel like learning, but I'm confused now because I'm thinking worrying is a sin. I don't know. I'm stuck on that one.
Now that we've talked through it, I disagree that worrying is a sin. I think you're a human being.
But nature is to sin.
You're an imperfect human being, and human beings do imperfect things. I think worrying is a natural emotion.
So you can still trust in God, but be a little worried. That's what we've decided on a sandwich and some lovin'.
Well, yeah.
That's the big philosophical debate for today. I promise we won't have any more like that.
Very philosophical.
Did you know that 70% of people say they want to use natural products, but only about 2% do? I would have thought that number would be a lot higher, but I think what the problem is that sometimes it's just a little difficult and sometimes confusing to use natural products, because sometimes people will market themselves as natural, but then you read the label, you're like, what the heck am I putting in or on my body or using around my house? That's why I love Grove Collaborative so much. Yes, because they make finding these healthy products that are effective and natural. They are easy, they are convenient, and they are affordable. Yes, we know we should be cutting down on the toxic chemicals. We know we should be cutting down on the plastic waste, but it can be overwhelming when you commit, like we said. If you're like looking at the big picture, it's just overwhelming. How can I make a difference, little old me? But with Grove Collaborative, you make those small changes around the house, and they can ultimately make a really big impact. Now, Grove Collaborative, you're going to find the products, the names you know and love. Mrs. Meyer's. In fact, I love Mrs. Meyer's products. This is probably that, and Burt's Bee is probably my two favorite things.
I used it today.
We love their Mrs. Meyer's cleaning products. We love the body washes, the hand washes. In fact, for Christmas, I gave body washes and body lotions from Mrs. Meyer's as Christmas gifts. You also have Method on there, 7th generation. Grove Collaborative has their own line of products and things you might not think about, and things that sometimes, ladies, let's be honest, it's a little embarrassing to go to the store. It's like when it comes to sexy time. Sexual wellness products on grove.co. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Healthy sex products.
Okay.
As well as for that time of the month. Ladies, these things do matter. And Grove has all that for your family, for your home, everything you need. And they have also ways you can make changes, because like my daughter comes home every day and is like, Mom, we've got to do more to save the planet. And you can do that. Let me find what they've got right now, this limited time. Yes, our listeners can get free a sustainable swap set from Grove. It's the best and easiest way to get started reducing plastics in your home. The bamboo straws, reusable washable sandwich bags, a refillable hand soap dispenser, gel hand soap, and a walnut scrubber sponge set. A limited time, like I said, our listeners get all that for free with your first purchase. They also have fast free shipping on your first order. So I want you to join me and over 2 million other households who shop at grove.co for their healthy, sustainable home essentials.
And make your home more sustainable this new year, now for a limited time. When our listeners go to grove.co/lovin', you'll get the free 5-piece set from Grove so you can easily swap out plastics. Plus, you'll get free shipping and a free 60-day VIP trial. Go to grove.co, not .com, .co/lovin', Lovin, to get this exclusive sustainable swaps offer. That's grove.co/lovin', Lovin.
Not .com.
Not .com.
Why are you refusing to put on your glasses?
I don't know. I panicked. And to be...
I just shooed the kids away.
Yeah, I'll pull back the kimono. Here, while we were doing the advertisement...
Two giggling monkeys.
I had 2 giggling boy monkeys shaking their pawits at me, which is Filipino for bottom.
Yeah, I just shooed them away while you're reading. I was like, go away.
We have French doors here in the studio, and they were giggling and shaking their pawits.
It's a tad distracting.
Yes, but we fought through it, as we usually do.
Well, today, my phone started blowing up. I was driving home with Emma Kelly, and heard the news that a legend in Dallas radio surprised everybody by announcing today he is retiring. His name is Mike Rhyner, the old gray wolf. When I came to Dallas to begin my radio career with Kid Craddock, I had already been in radio starting at the age of 19, but I didn't get my job in Dallas until I was just turned 27. I was very immature and naive coming to the big city, but I remember listening to The Ticket. I loved listening to the Hard Line in the afternoons. I did morning radio, still do. But Mike Rhyner was on there, and I just adored him. I had a huge crush on Mike Rhyner. Every year on my birthday, this will be the first year that Mike Rhyner doesn't tell me happy birthday on my birthday, but just the sweetest man. I've had a crush on him forever. So he started The Ticket. He's one of the founders of The Ticket. He did it in 1994, the same year I joined. Last year I had my 25th anniversary. So all year The Ticket celebrated their 25th anniversary on the air. They went away for vacation at Christmas, took a long break, like 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks, like 20 days, really long vacation.
They stopped before like the NFL playoffs.
They stopped before we went on vacation. We were on vacation for 2 weeks, and we were on vacation for a long time. That's a long time in radio world because, people are faithful, but you gotta come back, But today, their first day back on the air, apparently the morning show was notified of this announcement. And then when it was time for Mike Rhyner's shift to begin this afternoon, they played the audio from a video he made, a 6.5-minute video announcing he's done. He's retired. We're coming up on the 26th year, his 26th year anniversary at The Ticket. Now, Mike Rhyner is 69 years old. He wanted everybody to know he's absolutely fine. It's not a health issue. He said he's been toying with the idea of retirement for a while. He's talked to some people who have retired before him, and he was just saying, how do you know when it's the right time? How do you know? And they all said the same thing. You'll just know. You will know in your heart, in your spirit, that this is the time. And he said for him, he realized that while he was on Christmas break, which I was like, wow. So he announced it on this video, wore a suit jacket, sat on a chair in a long hallway. I don't know if he was at home or not. I don't know where he was. Did the video, and then he just got up and walked away. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. His shoes going down the hallway, and they turned the mic up so you could hear those clip clopping heels going down the hallway. And I'll tell you, that is a very effective tool that Kid Craddock used to use with the clip clop heels walking away, but it works every time. I started crying.
Did you really?
I started crying because he just walked away, went down the hall, opened the door, and was out. And that's the way he went out. He didn't give any warning. I don't know how I feel about that because, I have a 25-year relationship, the same as Mike Rhyner with his audience at The Ticket. I have the same one with the Kid Craddock Morning Show based out of Dallas, Texas. If I recorded a video like that and just said, y'all play this, I'm not coming in. I mean, it was really touching, and you do what you want to do, but I don't know how I felt about that. What did you think?
Well, a couple of things. So I'm with you. Mike Rhyner's like a legend in
I love
radio.
him. And I'm not bad-mouthing. I'm just questioning, was that...
I actually, when I moved to Dallas, that was the first radio that I listened to. And we've talked about this a little bit on our podcast because people ask me sometimes, did you know Kelly when y'all met? And I would say, well, I knew of her name, but I didn't listen to Kiss FM. I listened to The Ticket.
Right.
When I first moved to Dallas,
guys,
it was Guys Talk, sports radio. And I was new to Dallas, and they were new on the air in 94. So right when I got here, The Ticket was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of you, who listen to Kelly on the radio probably think this, and I've heard people come up to her and say this all the time, like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you because I've listened to you for so long and I've been there with you throughout the years and I followed all your stories. And well, that was me with those guys on The Ticket, So I was the same way with the guys on The Ticket. Mike Rhyner used to do his show with a guy named Greg Williams, and Greg Williams left for some other reasons. But Mike Rhyner has been there from 1994 until he retired
right before Christmas.
Retired today.
Yeah.
I listened to the ticket probably from 94 to the mid 2000s, and then I just kind of moved away from it because I started listening to more music, and I just wasn't interested in sports radio as much anymore. But when you ask, did you think the way he did it was appropriate? I think that here's what I think. I think that the relationship that those guys have, and this is just my opinion, with their listeners, it's a different listener base. It's like guys talking to guys, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas you have a lot more females that listen to Kiss FM.
Yeah.
And it's a little different dynamic, I think. So they're kind of have that similar relationship where it's so like you're inside and you so feel like you know those guys that to me it wasn't a big deal because I know how he is, and I know that he's kind of got.
He wouldn't want to fuss.
He wouldn't want to fuss. He's kind of got that quirky personality.
And see, I kind of want to fuss.
Yeah, and you know, a guy doesn't want a big brouhaha when he retires or when he, you know, he's just not the kind of guy I think that would want a big deal being made of that. Even though he's a legend, and even though he's done it for over 25 years. So when he did it, I was like, I sent Kelly a note. I said, Mike Rhyner just retired suddenly and unexpectedly, and I said, I watched the video and it was really nice, but I didn't get sad. To me, it was more, oh, wow, that's really cool.
What about when he walked away?
No, I thought it was fine.
Which was a real big dramatic effect.
I said, that's really cool that
but I cried.
He's able to do that, and he's been successful, and he's able to just retire in his terms.
Yeah,
you know?
And he's not, he said, I tried to write down a little, he said, if something materialized, I'm paraphrasing because I was just kind of jotting it down because I was like, wait, he said, if something materializes that sounds like fun, he might do it, but he'll wait and see. So I know he has a Tom Petty tribute band. Apparently he has more than one band, and they play all the time. They have a huge following.
They're called Petty Theft.
Petty Theft. And so we're going to have to go and see them play. I've seen them play once or twice, but now I really want to go because I want to hug his neck. But Deontay, my friend Deontay, is the one that initially told me because she listens to them religiously every afternoon, so she's really upset. But she said that they were talking that he's going to come back in person, you know, and kind of visit with them and you know, in person at a future date, but just not right now.
Yeah. Well,
but it's such an interesting time for him also to leave because they're getting ready to have a huge upheaval in the Cowboys organization, and you know, with the new coach announced.
Yeah, I flipped it over on the ticket after Mike Rhyner announced it.
Yeah.
And they were...
They're trying to talk about that, but...
His other co-host, his name's Corby Davidson. If you ever listen to the ticket, you're familiar with these guys. But they sounded a little out of sorts. Like they were scrambling a little bit, and they weren't even talking about the Cowboys' new coach. They were talking about Mike.
Right, and that should be the number one topic, but not when your mentor, your boss, your creator... just retired out of the blue like
it would be
that.
Similar to, and a lot of our audience would be more familiar with, you know, Kid Craddock. It would be similar to him just getting up and saying, I'm out. I've had enough. You know, I'm done. Which,
well,
it's kind of what happened. Not of his choice.
It wasn't his
choice, yeah.
Well, I am super happy that he is, you know, he's 69, so he's in great health. He looks great. I'll be honest. He looks better now than he did 10, 15 years ago. So I don't know. Maybe he's in love. I think the last time I saw him, he was with a woman. So I'm assuming they're still together. I don't know for sure. But I know he's got a daughter that performs with him in his band. I know he's happy and healthy. And that's also, you want to be young and healthy enough to enjoy your retirement. Because a lot of people, you hear about these people, they retire and then a year later, they're done. And man, you know, you worked all that time but maybe working is what your joy. So why would you leave it? He says it brings him joy, but he just knew the time was right to walk away.
Yeah.
But here I am. I real quick wanted to go back and make sure I had my information right, that he was one of the founders of the ticket in 1994. But let me tell you what I read. Now, this is on Wikipedia. Everything on Wikipedia, got to put a big grain of salt in your cheek because I don't know if somebody could have just made this stuff up. Did you just mix
metaphors?
Where would you put the grain of salt?
Put a big grain of salt in your cheek?
You take it with a grain of salt. Where would you take it?
You do something that's tongue in cheek, or you take it with a grain of salt.
Well,
but you're putting a grain of salt in your cheek? Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
So Mike Rhyner, now this is according to Wikipedia. All right. So he's, born and raised in Dallas. He started his career as a news intern in 1979, which means he was 29 years old.
Mhm.
Can you imagine? I mean, that's kind of late to be starting a new career as an intern.
Mhm.
But he started as a news intern at KZEW, shortly promoted to the assistant of the program director, Tom Owens. Do you know that name?
I do not know
That's
that
Jenna
name.
Owens' dad.
Oh, okay. I did
Jenna
not know
Owens' dad that I work with on the Kid Craddock Morning Show, huge radio legend. Everybody that's ever worked in radio knows Tom Owens. He has
Oh, okay.
since retired.
Well, that
but
explains why I don't know him. I know
Yeah.
Terrell Owens.
Tom Owens,
Okay.
anyway.
All right.
But they said, this is what I thought was super interesting. In 1982, while he was still at KZEW, he received a letter from John Hinckley Jr.,
The guy that tried to shoot Reagan?
who did
Or
shoot
shot
Reagan,
Reagan, yeah.
who attempted to assassinate the president. Remember, to impress Jodie Foster because he was a nut. He actually turned out to be one of Mike Rhyner's fans and wrote him a letter. Is this true? This is on Wikipedia. This is the first I am hearing
That's
of this
pretty wild.
and reading this. But they said the letter's creepiness proved to be a local sensation. I'd never heard of that. Did somebody slip that into Wikipedia just to make him sound more interesting?
I don't know. I have never heard that.
In 1986, he left KZEW for WBAP to work in their sports department. And that was in 1986. And so, again, that's where he developed his love for sports. In 1994, he decided to come up with this new idea in sports radio. They named it The Ticket. It has been just a national sensation. They've won a Marconi. That's the highest award you can receive.
Yeah, and he's in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame, too.
Yes, he is in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. That's a bucket list for me right there.
Well, there you go. Why didn't you put that on there?
It is on there.
You
I
put
just
that on your
didn't-
bucket list?
I did.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Because it sounded a little braggadocious to say I was going to try that. It's in the book. It's right there.
Well, it is braggadocious, but that doesn't mean it should.
Babe, I want to be in there.
It doesn't mean it
Is
shouldn't
that
be on
wrong?
there. No, it's not wrong.
So anyway, I'm really sad, but I'm happy for him because I know this is what he wants, and he's not being forced out because somebody told him, hey, you either got to quit or we're going to fire you. It's nothing like that. I was a little bit like, oh man, I don't know if I would do it that way. I would want probably the build up. I would want the what's that TV show, This Is Your Life, where they bring people in with these mystery voices. Hi, Kelly. I worked with you back at the morning breakfast flakes back in Florence, South Carolina. Do you know who I am? And then I'd be like, oh my God.
So you want a big brouhaha, big.
I always want
a big production
Do
being
you
made.
know
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
I want dinners.
Right.
And I want awards and plaques
Right.
and bouquets.
Yeah, I think that's.
I want stuff named in my honor.
I think that's the opposite of Mike.
I want the sign when you go into Florence, South Carolina, to say home of Kelly Raspberry Evans, just like Vanna White has when you go into Myrtle
You
Beach.
should probably already have that. Why does
I
it not?
don't.
Why does it not have that?
Right? Can somebody living in Florence, South Carolina make that happen for me? Home of Now, I did have, when I said this before, not even tongue in cheek.
How do you not have your name on the sign? I'm the mayor in Maybank, Texas. You don't have your
Thank
name
you.
on the sign?
I wanted to say home of Kelly Raspberry Evans when you cross over the line into Florence, South Carolina. Granted, 99% of the people who cross over that line would be like, who's Kelly Raspberry Evans? But for that 1%, that'd be a big deal.
Yeah, that would be a big deal.
That's a lifetime bucket list. I don't think it's going to happen in 2020.
Yeah. Well, sad to see Mike go, but you know, a lot of the things I say to this day are because of that silly radio station. And like even
we stole some stuff from them.
Oh.
Absolutely, you couldn't help it.
even on the podcast, I still
Save that. Save
Well,
that is from the ticket.
They used to say mark that, but yeah.
No, they changed it to mark that after we stole Save That.
Oh, okay. Well, I always heard it as mark that.
Save that.
But like Greg and Mike would always use the word like whipped or beat down, or you know, those are things that like I say today because I got.
And why you talk like this when you say something embarrassing?
That's what they do on the ticket to mask
Right.
their voices. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm influenced by those guys a lot. They were so funny.
Let's find out when Petty Theft is performing, and let's do a date night, okay?
Sure.
And your wife might get real sloppy drunk and cry a little bit,
Well,
but just throw my
Seen
drunk
that-
butt in an
seen that
Uber
many
and
times.
send me home.
been there, done that.
Well, Mike Rhyner hasn't seen me, been there, done that. He deserves that before
I
he goes
have.
out in a blaze of glory.
Many times.
Now, did you want to read your letter? Because I know you said you brought something.
Oh, we have a letter. This is a virtual.
That Alan tried to print, but our printer is crap. We have a home printer. We use it too much. It's always out of ink. It's always spitting. It's just, we're over it. So Alan's going to read it off his phone instead.
This is a love letter. So I'm gonna read it for you, but then I'll chime in because this is basically I was reading it, and this is
really long.
It's not though. It just looks that way on the screen because it's on my phone. Okay.
Okay.
Here's a letter from Rothy.
Oh, like the shoes.
She says, "Dear Gracie Award-winning Kelly Raspberry Evans and not at all chopped liver Alan Evans.
Yes, I like that.
You can call me Rothy. I'm writing to you because I'm struggling with a life-changing decision, and I respect your advice. I got married this last November. For reference, I'm 30. He's 35. He's an up-and-coming pilot. He's currently in the stage of being a flight instructor, which he will do until he reaches the required hours that he needs to become a pilot for a regional airline.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wants to fly commercial jets after that. Being a flight instructor took him to Colorado in September of 2019, 2 months before our wedding.
Right, because I got married in November.
Bad timing. I'm in Texas, and I always assumed I'd join my husband wherever he goes with his job after we got married and after my apartment lease is up here in Texas. Well, we're married, and the apartment lease is up in February. We talked about how hard it'll be me leaving Texas. Both our families are here, and I have never lived anywhere else or away from my family, so it'll be quite an adjustment. And I thought we needed to end the conversation on the same page of, yes, it'll be tough, but it's happening. But as I drove him to the airport after his Christmas visit home, he basically told me we need to talk more about it because he isn't sure I should leave Texas. His reasoning is he's worried about how homesick I'll be and worried over the fact that I will be leaving. She has a really good job, and there's no guarantee of her getting an equal job like that in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he says he's thinking maybe I should continue living here while he lives away, and he'll just visit.
For how much longer?
He says it would be that way until October or November of 2020, and then he thinks he can move back to Texas and just commute. Okay, so I'm kind of paraphrasing some of this.
Yeah, she's skipping because it was a long letter. I told you.
Okay, she says, this upsets me because it makes me feel like he doesn't mind being away from me and is totally fine living apart. I feel very emotionally immature and insecure about this, but it's true. He says he doesn't like the long distance either, wants to be together, but it seems like that's not true when he tells me he thinks it might be better for me to stay here. Anyway, my questions for y'all are, should I leave my family and my great job to be with my husband and support him wherever he goes and pray that I can find a good job and be emotionally strong away from my family? Or should I live apart from my husband for basically the first year of our marriage and only get to see him when he visits, but keep the great job and be near my family? And then she finishes off, I want to be with him, of course. I hate being apart, but I know it'll be really hard leaving family and my job. There's some major pros and cons to each decision. It's scary. Please let me know what you would do if you're in my shoes.
This sucks. All the way around, it sucks. The timing couldn't be worse. I wish he was a little bit more wanting to be together. Let's see. Here are some options. Could you go to your boss now and say, is there any way I could work remotely? Is there any way I could do this job from, where are they? He is Colorado?
He's going to be in Colorado.
From Colorado, and maybe fly back to Texas once a month. Whatever your husband was planning to do to visit you in Texas, that would be when you come back to visit your job in Texas. That could be a possibility because for good employees, people are working remotely more and more often. That could be a possibility. Have you even broached the subject with your boss? That's the first thing I would do. But I know it would be hard and you would be homesick. I've talked to a girlfriend of mine who she's been married forever, but when she first got married to her husband, he wanted to be a doctor. So he had to move away to, I believe, Phoenix, somewhere in Arizona. That's beside the point, but it was not from her home. She had to leave all of her family, all of her friends. The only person she knew was her husband, and she was pregnant. She sat home and ate her feelings for like a year. While she was pregnant, she gained 100 pounds. She was miserable, but they made it through it. Now they're happily married. They couldn't be better. She lost all the weight. Don't worry about her. She's great. But there's things you have to do for the sake of your marriage. A lot of people are good with separation. I know people who, if they were under the same roof, their personalities, they would self-destruct because they can't, they need that independence to be a separate like that. This doesn't sound like the case for you. So I would make every effort I could to be where my husband is. And if he is kicking and screaming and throwing up roadblocks every time you turn around, I would really be questioning where his head is as far as what he thinks marriage is supposed to be.
I don't get the feel from what she says that he's doing that. It's more of a, hey, we can do this. I just got to go do this training for a little while and then I'll be back.
Do you think he's just afraid she's going to get there and he's going to have to deal with her moping and whining and pouting all the time and she's going to be a constant drag?
I didn't pick that up.
Well,
but
you got to read these things.
That could be a concern.
See, that's why I am the love expert, Alan. You have to read between the lines of these letters.
Yeah, my opinion doesn't mean a hill of
No,
beans.
it does
but
mean
no,
it does mean a lot because you bring a different perspective.
I'm kidding. What and I'm with you because I don't like the feel of, if I were, maybe I'm old fashioned, maybe I've never had to do this, maybe I just don't like the feel of, if I were getting married for the first time and then I have to not be with my new spouse for almost a year, to me, that wouldn't be healthy. That's just me.
It's not healthy.
Because that's the, like, those are some formative bonding. There's lots of experiences you do in your first year. You're still really excited about being married, and you're doing things together because you just got married, and there's a lot going on that first year. And to me, it would be super important to be together. So my first thought was, like you say, what did you say? Can you work remotely?
Yeah, and then you fly back to Texas to visit your job once or twice a month.
You know, the corporation I used to work for, this actually happens a lot, where there could be two people working for the same company and one gets transferred. The other has to figure out, well, crap, now what do? I got a really good job here. I know that the corporation I used to work for, and I know a lot of them are like this, if you talk to your manager in your HR department and tell them, this is what's happening. My spouse got transferred either from this company or another company, say, and I really love my job here. I've done a good job here. I'm not expecting you to hold my job open for 8 months or a year, but I'm going to be back here in a year and I want to come back here and work. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they'll take you back. You'll have to go through the interview process again, but you've already got an in because you've worked there and you've done a good job there. So you've got more of an in than an outside candidate because you were there. So if you ask them that, a lot of times they'll consider it.
Could his mindset be that he just doesn't, like, maybe he is filled with guilt? Like, I am going to wreck her world we can make it just a year, 10 more months at this point. We can make it. I'm going to wreck her world. I'm going to take away all of her security. I'm going to be the only thing she has. She's going to be miserable and sad, and I don't want to be responsible for that. Could it be part of that? Could he be thinking, I'm being chivalrous by allowing her to stay in Texas while I'm in Colorado?
Maybe, but
don't think so.
I'm a Leo.
What do you think he's thinking then?
I like affection. I'd rather be with my spouse for the first year than say, it'll be okay. You'll be all right. You'll be all right there, and I'll be all right here. It'll all be okay. I'll come once a month and see on the weekends. To me, that's just not real healthy.
And it was so early in the letter, and I apologize. Can you remember why he has to be in Colorado for what he's doing?
Because he has training.
But he can't be trained in Texas?
Apparently not.
Because before Alan, I dated other men. And there was a man that took a lot of his pilot training in Texas, in Addison, Texas. And I know John Travolta, Harrison Ford, who are celebrities who happen to be pilots, they come to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, slip in a lot of times because they have to do training here. So I know there's training offered here. So I'm just wondering why he has to be in Colorado.
Oh, she didn't say, but
maybe there is a reason that he has to be in Colorado. But, every once in a while, part of the biblical aspect of getting married is you forsake all others. You leave your mother, you leave your father, you cleave to your spouse. I am paraphrasing because I haven't read that passage in many, many years. But yeah, you're supposed to cling to your spouse. There's not a lot of clinging going on.
And another interesting thing to think about would be, well, what if it was she that had to go do training in Colorado? and he had the job in Texas, with the role reversal there,
Yeah.
would he want to follow her there to Colorado, or would he say, nah, you go on to Colorado. I'm good here in Texas, because I got a job here and my family's here. You go on. And, she's kind of caught like, what should I do? Like,
And
it seems like he's really adamant that, no, you can stay there and it'll all be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How adamant is he that you not pursue? That's my thing. It's like, how adamant is he about, no, you stay put. Don't make an effort to come. Because I would think y'all would be trying to think of everything you could make it. How can we make this work? How can we be together just for 10 months? I can't be apart. That's what I would want to hear from my husband.
Yeah.
I want to be with you. Is there any way we can make this work where you come here and you can fly, you can fly home. We'll scrape our pennies together. We'll get, our friends that have buddy passes. We'll get you home. You can visit your family once a month. They can come see us. There are ways to make this work.
Yeah. And Rothy, I know it's easy for me to say, but your family, I mean, really, I think at this point in your life, that marriage is your number one priority. You just got married, Your family they're going to be there when you get back. If you go to Colorado, you come back to Texas, they're going to be there. Now, the job, that's also easy for me to say, see if your company will let you come back.
No, you have to explore the possibilities.
There's a financial impact to your decision and what you're doing here. But let me tell you, too, and I've worked a lot of different jobs, there's always going to be a job there for you. If you're a good worker and you've got good experience, you can find a job either there in Colorado or when you come back to Texas. I mean, you'll be able to. I really believe that. I've always believed that if you're good, people will hire you. So
we believe in you, Rothy.
I don't know. It's a tough one, but
let us know what you decide to do. But you do need to explore the possibilities and the options of being with your man.
Newlyweds should be together.
That's my opinion.
And I know that doesn't always happen.
It doesn't always happen. Think about people who are in the military.
Yeah.
They get married, and that's just part of their job. Is you can't follow your man over, to these horrible conflicts and things like that.
Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Yeah.
And that's part of the, so we're just talking about this particular isolated situation. Right.
And these opinions are ours.
And ours alone.
They may not be what you agree with.
Right. And if you have a different opinion and you have something that worked for you, we would love to hear from you, and we will share it on the next podcast. You can email us podcast@kellieandallen.com, KELLIE and ALLEN.com. All right. Now, if you've been listening to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' for any amount of time at all, you've heard us talk about FrameBridge. By now, they make it easy and affordable to frame your favorite things, from art prints to posters to all the travel photos that have been just sitting there on your phone. What are you going to do with those? Well, you upload them to FrameBridge. Here's a reminder of how it works. You just go to framebridge.com, upload your photo, or if you have a thing like that art print or a special baseball you caught at a game with your grandfather or something, they'll send you the packaging to safely mail in those physical pieces. You can preview your item online in any frame style, choose your favorite, or you can get a free recommendation from their talented designers. They are so helpful. And then their expert team at FrameBridge custom frames your item, delivers it finished directly to your door, ready to hang. Everything's included. You don't have to screw anything in. I hate that when it comes with all the stuff in a little Ziploc bag. You got to do it yourself. It's ready to hang. And instead of the hundreds you would pay at a framing store, FrameBridge's prices start at just $39. All shipping is free. And plus, our listeners get 15% off their first order when you go to framebridge.com and use their code SANDWICH. You know what they did for 2019 at FrameBridge?
What'd they do?
They sent over to us a list of the most popular places that their FrameBridge customers framed in 2019. Apparently, FrameBridge customers do a lot of traveling. Just the top 5 real quick: Big Ben, Machu Picchu, the Golden Gate Bridge, Yosemite National Park, and the Eiffel Tower was the number one most framed location from FrameBridge customers in 2019. What's going to be the top in 2020? Are you going to make the list?
Oui.
Oui, senor.
Whoa. Huh? Get started today. Frame your photos or send the perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code SANDWICH. You'll save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH. That's framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH.
When framing matters.
Love Framebridge.
Go to Framebridge.
All right, we're going to finish this podcast off by inviting two clowns in here.
They have been giggling, wiggling, and making all sorts of noise.
We're just about done here,
outside our
boys. So I'd
podcast
like you to
door.
introduce yourself. You fine lad. Your name is?
Hi, I'm Joe Mama.
You're Joe Mama?
That was my
was
son
Dylan.
Dylan. He said he was Joe Mama, and this is.
Cole. Cole didn't come up with a name as quickly as Joe Mama did.
And guys, why were you out in the hallway shaking your powits at us?
Because Dylan started it.
Because what? It's a bit. They were
said
doing
it's
bits.
a bit. Okay, and there they go.
All right. Thank y'all.
they
Thanks
ta-
for stopping by.
They talked this. They talked this giant game earlier about being on the podcast and talking on the podcast, and that's what we got. That's what
there
we
you
got.
go. That's
All
the
right.
future of podcasting right there. Okay, bye, Joe Mama.
But
All right. All right,
All right.
giggle monkeys. Okay, a couple quick announcements before we do go. Alan and I have found that recording on Sunday nights to deliver a podcast on Monday is not always the easiest thing to do because of, well, two reasons I can think of right now. Joe Mama and Cole standing right behind me. We have the kids a lot of times on Sunday nights, and I know tonight they're out of school still for Christmas vacation. That's why they're still here. So it's not always feasible for us or easy for us to record on Sunday nights for a Monday delivery. So what we're going to do moving forward in 2020 is we're going to be delivering you a hot, fresh episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, we can sometimes record on Sunday nights, but we just didn't want to keep disappointing you if you were expecting a Monday podcast and then it wasn't there. So that's been the main reason we've had to kind of just Sunday night obligations, right? So Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
For 2020. That's what we're doing with the new podcast. And also, one more quick announcement. The Bachelor is back. By the time you listen to this podcast, the first episode's already come and gone. But I know Bad Influence Jeff is a huge fan. Our friend Bad Influence Jeff. Joe Mama, a huge fan of the Bachelor. Charlize Theron.
Really?
She's a huge fan. She's going to be watching.
Did not know that.
And so is Kelly Raspberry Evans. But I'm going to try. I do this every season, and then I kind of fall off because I get... The thing about live tweeting The Bachelor is I kind of have to be snarky. And you know what I said earlier about bad-mouthing people and it makes me feel kind of dark inside?
Mm-hmm.
After all, I feel kind of bad about making fun of people. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of fun. And I'm going to probably have a buzzball and have a go at it. So check out Twitter live during The Bachelor if you want to follow along with me. I'm going to tweet it live. And if you missed this first episode every Monday night, now that The Bachelor's back, I'm going to be trying to do that.
Yeah. So while you're watching The Bachelor, we're going to go get, what are we going to eat, guys?
Waterburger.
Oh,
What are we going to eat?
Jack in the Box.
Little Jack in the Crack?
Jack in the Crack.
Little Jack in the Crack?
or Whataburger. That was the other.
Well,
All right.
all right.
All I know is Kelly ain't cooking tonight because she's going to get a buzzball and tweet The Bachelor.
And a book.
What?
Still.
See, this is what you're teaching these children.
I didn't say butt crack.
Well,
Jack in the Crack.
I
Yeah,
said
you did.
I
You
said
said-
Jack in the Crack.
what does that mean?
Story of Joe Mama.
Is there a story of Joe Mama? Well, come get on mic because people can't hear you. There's a story Cole's going to share with you.
So they said, did we forget anybody in class? And the guy said, Joe. And he was like, Joe Mama.
Okay.
They've been going on and on about that.
Did that happen in school?
It's some YouTube video.
Oh, okay. It's school.
They
video.
started watching this YouTube video about Joe, and then he's Joe Mama.
Okay,
And
we need to maybe monitor their YouTube
they've
viewing
been
a little bit
giggling
more
about
closely.
that now for 2 days.
Well.
I don't get it.
Hopefully, they got it out of their system on the Sandwiches and Lovin' podcast.
All right, babe. Well, this has been fun. Had a little meltdown at the end, but that's okay. Not a meltdown, but
Well, it went a little off the rails.
we invited 2 of the clowns in the house, but that's okay.
Well, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Again, every Tuesday and Thursday now you'll be getting new episodes.
And we'll do our podcast review
unless we
next
change
time.
it again. We'll let you know if we do.
We'll talk true crime podcast next time.
Oh, that's right. Alan finally got on the bandwagon. And,
It's really interesting.
Well, why don't you tell them the name of the one you're listening to, so if you want to talk about it, they can maybe catch up.
Yeah, it's called The Fall of a Titan.
The Fall of a Titan.
It's about, if any of you are NFL fans, you know the name Steve McNair, and he was murdered in 2009. So
Yeah.
it's about that.
It's about
Yeah.
a lot of people think it was a cover-up, and it's not what the police say happened. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Larry. Okay, the monkeys are back, and we're going to go.
All right. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.
Sandwich and nothing.
Yeah. Say bye.
Bye.